We love to talk about music on arrow.net, ARROE.net. Let's play it forward. Real people, real stories, the struggle to play it forward. Episode number 465, we are celebrating Ronnie James Dio's 80th birthday with his wife, Wendy.
Good morning. I'm doing very well. I hope you are.
Absolutely. Boy, to be celebrating Ronnie's 80th birthday. First of all, why? Yes, it's 80, but I still feel like a kid. And I know that that's had to have been in his heart when he created all of this beautiful music.
Absolutely. I kind of laugh when people say Ronnie's 80th birthday. I just can't picture Ronnie being 80.
Well, he is one of those voices and faces that time has preserved forever. And thanks to things like what's happening with Rhino and stuff like that, is that we get to have it. And I mean, to go in there and remaster and remix it, what an experience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of work, actually, but a lot of fun. And Rhino decided they wanted to ask me if we could do a remix, a remaster of Holy Diver. And I was a bit apprehensive, first of all, but I said, okay, but let me pick the producer. And I looked at a lot of different producers and came up with Joe Barishi, who had done Tool and a lot of other bands. He was a bit apprehensive too, but I think he did a fantastic job. I didn't know he was a fan of Ronnie's when I asked him, but he was. And he had been working at Sound City in the 90s, where Ronnie recorded Holy Diver, and said he used to see all the gold records on the wall. And I think he did a great job. It's really in your face. There's no fade outs. It plays to the end. He went in the vaults and used the original analog tapes and found a bunch of outtakes and said, oh, let's use these. Let's put these on there. So he did. And then we found some little bits and pieces that were on B-sides or something in singles, and we added those. And then we found a live recording of Holy Diver from 1983 from Fresno, California.
Wow.
And so that came on as well. And some vinyl we put in, and it was just fun. Let's add this, let's add that. There's some new artwork from Mark Sasso, and I think it's a great package. I'm very, very pleased with it. I think Ronnie would have been pleased with it.
Well, one of the crowning moments is Mick Wall with what he writes about when it comes to the album's creation. Oh my God! I mean, because as listeners, we don't get to see that side of the story.
Mick Wall is great. He and I worked on to finish Ronnie's book. Longtime friend of Ronnie's, did a great, amazing job. He has such a wonderful way of words, of putting words together and making it all flow. He has a special gift for doing that.
When you get an opportunity to sit down with people who love their music and stuff like that, it's amazing how Holy Diver always comes up in a conversation. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, Holy Diver is always going to be a part of that conversation.
It was great. Which is great to hear. Yes, absolutely. It's the timeless songs on that album that are still fresh today.
Didn't I just hear a Ronnie James Dio song in the latest Marvel movie?
Yes. Rainbow in the Dark. Yep. Rainbow in the Dark.
Yep.
Played over the credits. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I ask it that way because I want listeners to understand that the film that they've been watching has a living legend that is right there in the theater with them when it's playing that movie. I mean, Thor. I mean, it's just amazing how it's played at the right time, the right moment, and it gets inside of you. And I turn to my friend and I go, look, that's Ronnie. And he goes, how do you know that? You just knew a Ronnie song, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ronnie had a very distinguished voice that it didn't sound like anybody else either. Definitely.
Did he know that, and was it something that he practiced? I mean, and the reason why is because I'm in the voice acting business. I mean, I can change my voice to do anything, but Ronnie found that sound. Did it take him a while to find that voice?
I don't think he thought about it. His voice came from years and years of playing trumpet. So he had the right technique for breathing exercises and breathing, and that's why I think his voice was so strong and why he was able. Ronnie didn't ever warm up or anything, and actually when he did a tour, his voice would get stronger on the third day of the tour. and it will continue to be stronger.
Well, listen to how strong it is now. And one of the gifts that you and Rhino are giving to fans for the 80th birthday is that the vinyl is clear. This is the kind of stuff where I want it, I have to buy several. One to hang on my wall, one to play, and one to give away as a gift.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, we wanted to include all kinds of things. Ronnie loved it when he hated it when the cassettes and CDs came in because he said, I always like the artwork on an album. He said, I bought many albums just because I love the artwork from the front. And then when cassettes came in and CDs, it was like you lost the artwork.
When you talked about going into the original masters and stuff like that, how is it preserved in the way that you're able to do that? Because I know that there's a lot of tape and stuff like that didn't make it through the test of time, but to be there in that moment when those masters reappear, did Ronnie sit next to you?
No, it's we have Win Davis, who is a longtime engineer of Ronnie's, doing the inventory and making sure that the tapes got baked so they don't lose, the analog tapes don't get lost or disintegrate or anything. And we've been very, very careful over the years of keeping Ronnie's stuff in tip-top form and not letting anything get destroyed.
Those of us that loved reading Rolling Stone magazine, Cream magazine, every rock magazine on the planet, the one thing that we always saw was Ronnie loved music to the point where he was not afraid to collaborate with other creative minds.
No, he loved to. That's what he would love to do. He would love to write, especially with like Tony Iommi. He called him the riff master, and he loved to write. He loved to write, collaborate with other people, bring his ideas in, their ideas in, and it would end up with a fantastic song, hopefully.
When you talk about riffs, one of that really brings up a lot of points with a lot of these new bands today is that they will have a riff and they'll instantly record it, but they may not get back to it for 2 or 3 years. When Ronnie would come across a riff, would he instantly just follow the trail and say, this has got to turn into something now, not 10 years from now?
Yes, he was very, he knew exactly what he wanted. He knew exactly whether it was going to work or it wasn't going to work as far as he was concerned. And he'd scrap things all the time. That's no good. That's no good. Okay, this is going to work. Yep. He was very, very decisive.
I guess I'm that old guy that when I go to a concert and I see people lift that hand in the air to put up those devil horns, I will sit there and look at those kids and I'll go, do you know where that came from? Because you're using it like you know it, but you have to understand the history of it.
Oh, yeah. He used to see his grandma do that when she was taking, when he was about 5, 6 years old, he would walk to the steel mill where his grandpa worked with his grandma to give him a lunch. And he would see her doing that down the street, old Italian, upstate New York, doing the Maloic sign, which is the old Italian sign to ward off evil or give the evil eye. And then, when he went into Sabbath the first time, Ozzy would do the peace sign. And he was like, well, one day he just did it. And it just caught on. It was like, I need to do a connection with the audience, and it just worked.
Oh my God, you bring up Sabbath, those early days and stuff like that, and it just brings up so many memories of how many people on our street would have those electric guitars playing all different types of Ronnie songs and stuff like that. And it's like, and we would never get together to collaborate, but we were all playing those songs on our own personal guitars. Yep,
exactly, yeah. Ronnie, long history of music with lots of different bands, and all of it's good. All of it's good.
What did you learn doing this 80th birthday project? Because there's always a day of lessons to be learned and then to be shared.
I think to let new technology, have a chance, not be just stuck with the same old thing. We did this because I wanted to bring it up to modern technology, but I didn't want to mess with too much. So I think the lesson to do is, you can go along with technology, but don't make it too much. Not too, no synthesized drums or anything. You got to have the real stuff that's there, the meat and potatoes, that you can do a little bit of gravy around it.
They say part of the music experience is taking it from the studio and going out to the car to hear it inside those speakers. Did you get the opportunity to do that with this remaster?
Yep.
Ah!
That's what Ronnie always did that.
Yep.
He would always take it in his car and listen to it. Always. Yep.
Wendy, I can't thank you enough for this collection of music and to keep his name and music right here in front of us as we all grow forward with it. We're carrying it with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
Thank you. You be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.